Right.
Hello.
Welcome to our Valentine's Day rendition of In Touch, where we're gonna make it short and sweet, or not that sweet, I guess. Depends on how you are gonna judge our movie of the day, Phantom Thread by PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson, who, as I understand, is a fave of many Duke Bros film lovers. I don't know. They all love this man for whatever reason. And this is my second movie, and I have to say I did like it. Tiana will have her own thoughts. Yeah, if you want to share.
To me, I did not like the first half of the movie because I felt it was one too cliche, even though it was very beautiful. The scenes and of course, like the people acting, doing the acting, and also, yeah, like the clothes that are featured in there, the dresses. It's all very beautiful, but to me, it's still very cliche and very kind of like drawed out. I feel like it could be condensed in a better way. And I understand
Mhm.
why, the director has to film it in that way to show how the protagonists interact and what the flaws of their interactions are. But I think it could be done in another way where it doesn't seem so long and drawn out. But I did like the ending a lot.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
tension and the drama there was spectacular, I'd say. But yeah, I
Mhm.
don't, it doesn't, yeah, adding up the long, I wouldn't say boring, but the long part in the beginning with
Uh,
that very good ending, I just feel like it
I
doesn't
see.
overall stand out as a very, very good movie for me.
Got you, got you. I feel like contemporary directors, especially the male ones, they have the urge to make their shit as long as humanly possible
Every
for,
horror movie.
it's not justified in most cases. But for this one, I didn't feel like it was super long. Maybe it's because I was, it's my first, the first day of my period, and I wouldn't say high, but like I was taking some
Cry?
pills to like suppress the pain. I know that gives me some sort of like
Oh,
effect in that I don't perceive time the normal way, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe that's why
it's
I didn't perceive it
hormones.
as long. Yeah, 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 maybe that as well.
It's
So
hormones.
I didn't think it was super long. I thought it was a simple film because it just centers two people. If you like make it really, really simplified, it's just one person and the other. And initially you might think it's an abusive one where just one person is treating the other one horribly and that one just takes it. But later on, even like the beginning of it, like she didn't take it. She was like pretty
She
much
started
fighting back.
showing like, yeah, acting out, showing that she didn't want to be manipulated. But I think for the most part, it was half and half. Some things she kind of just went along with, like eating quietly at the table kind of thing. And some things she was
Later
more,
on, that changed. Yeah, yeah, but I agree. Yeah, like her etiquette changed because of his comments and house rules, basically. So I agree. Yeah.
yeah, I think I've read like a lot of really toxic relationship novels, romance novels. That's why like the
Uh-huh.
first part felt so long to me, especially when, her reactions were so subtle. Like she didn't full out get angry. She didn't really full out make a scene, make a big reaction. It wasn't until they're seen at the dinner table where, it's asparagus cooked in butter instead of salt and salt and pepper that things broke out and, th dynamics changed. But yeah,
That's not the only reason. I feel like also it's because she did something unexpected,
no,
and that's
no,
not
for sure. I'm saying like that's one of the triggers, right? It's like the
right, right, right.
symbolism of the whole
Hmm.
scenario. Um,
Hmm.
oh, so Punch Drunk Love is also a
I have,
PTA movie.
yeah. I've
I
seen that
don't,
one too. Have you?
I think so. A few years ago, I didn't think I liked it either.
No, me neither. That one, I was too anxious watching it. it just gave me all the like jittery feelings because I was like vibing with the guy so hard and he's so nervous. So I was nervous as well watching it.
Hmm.
I just felt really uncomfortable watching it because I was like feeling him so much. Yeah, in a way.
But that
And
means,
that's why I
you know,
think it
he
was
did, the director did a good job. The movie did a good job.
not a pleasant experience watching it is my main takeaway from that movie.
Hmm.
But he did do a good job, I would say. Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
I feel like for this movie, it's so interesting because I do agree it's not an ideal relationship, but in a way, for me, it is because at the
Is.
end, they are able to take like what the other person is giving.
Yes.
So like, I don't know. Because when I was watching it, I was thinking about like what we can talk about for our talk, and I was
Hmm.
thinking the two people they have different ways of communicating and they have different ways of dealing with conflict or dealing with the other person. If you're pushed in a situation, who do you think you would be in that relationship? Would you act like Reynolds or would you act like Elma more? I feel like I have my answer for you, actually. I could see you being one person, but
Okay.
like, go ahead.
Okay, talk to me. Oh, who would I be? Let me.
I want to hear you first. I don't know.
No, like,
I don't want to, push my understanding of you because that would be very toxic to me. That would be very Reynolds like, I feel.
I feel like, um, even five, like going back 5 years, I would definitely be the Alma in this movie because I want to care for other people and I want to, you know, show someone that I understand you completely and I'm the only one who understands you and can give you whatever kind of love that you're seeking and that you actually physiologically and also mentally need. That would be me
Hmm.
5 years ago. But now I have to say like this movie, why I didn't like it is another thing. Like I really enjoyed watching the ending and how like
Hmm.
they switched their roles and their like control over power, their power dynamics, but I didn't really resonate with either of them. Most of the times when I watch a movie that involves a lot of that either involves a relationship or a lot of emotions, I can
Hmm.
easily sympathize and resonate with whichever side. Like I understand their motives. I understand what they're doing. Like I won't do the same things that they will in most scenarios, but I understand where they're coming from. But for this movie, like to me, when everything ended and the thing started rolling and then I was just like, I don't think I fully grasped what I just watched. So that was a very new experience for me. So I think
Got you.
mentally I've changed over the years. Now that you bring it up, like who would I be? I think, yeah, retrospectively, I'd probably be Alma a few years ago, but now I think I wouldn't be either because it's toxic.
Right, right. No, Tiana is in a really loving relationship, so I understand that she wouldn't identify with either. But for some reason, I see you being Reynolds. Not saying your eyes just shook, but because I don't see him as the way you see him, basically.
Okay.
Before I even saw it, like Tiana, like messaged me and she's like, I think you're gonna talk so much shit about this Woodcock person. I was like, what are you talking about? Because I at least at first I thought it's like a nickname for the director or some shit, but I didn't realize it's his actual
This is
last name.
actually.
I was like, what are you talking about? But when I watched it, I didn't resent him like how I would resent most toxic men for some reason because I think his toxic ways didn't come from a structural place, is what I'm trying to say. I feel like he's very self-centered in that, like for some men, when they control what a woman dresses or when they control what a woman eats, it's from a structural point of view. It's more like this is aesthetically
Yeah.
pleasing to society. It like conforms to the male gaze,
Hmm.
and that's why, like Kanye with his current wife,
Yeah.
that's what I want you to dress as. And that oppression is coming from a structural root in that that's what men want to see and that's what I'm making you do.
Hmm.
But for this film, it's like literally just his work. like it's mentioned throughout his like the movie. Like it's his taste, it's his even like when tides are changing and people are dressed more chic, and that's why I don't see him problematic in a way that most men are, because he's just simply very self-centered and lonely and alone, you know? Like
Mhm.
he didn't love people and he just felt they were outside of him until later when she did something that turned his world upside down, you know, inside out, that kind of
Mhm.
body relation between himself and the world changed because of this girl. And that's when their dynamic kind of changed.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is what happened. So I don't feel like he's problematic in many ways, but he definitely is toxic because he treats people with no regard and he doesn't see them because he doesn't want to
I
or because
just
he
feel
doesn't
like I think if he initially was just a jerk to begin with, then I would feel okay, this is just who he is. But in the beginning when he
calculate
just met Alma, he was like he was pretty
flirting.
intentionally luring her in and trying to, like seduce her. I was like, "Whoa, you guys are doing it fast." And it was like alarm bells ring. I'm like, "No, this is not. This is now you're taking her home." And then they went home
Also,
and
the
the age
age
gap.
gap was concerning for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Like at one
Yeah.
point there was this lady nearing the end saying like, "Now you're marrying a toddler?" So but I definitely
Yeah.
see like Reynolds has narcissistic problems. I wouldn't say he has a personality disorder, but he definitely has a shit ton of narcissism in him. And
He's very sheltered too.
yeah,
Very sheltered.
and
Yeah.
like the way he interacts with his sister and also the way he speaks of his mother and he fantasizes that his mother is there standing him when he's sick. I feel like he's just like a pampered kind of sheltered little boy on the inside. You can
Yeah,
see
he's a
that.
spoiled kid. She Alma commented on that too, like later in the
Mhm.
film. But at that point, I thought he would be like, "Oh, you're my mommy," and then because of his mommy issues, he would start embracing her.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
I
not what
thought so
happened.
too. I thought it would be like a
Right?
Oedipal complex or something. Yeah,
Oh no,
but
agree,
it's
agree.
it's not
That's
it's not that. Thank God
like
it's not
even
that.
it, let's talk about the hallucination scene, I guess.
Hmm.
Because I thought initially it's gonna be something like, you know, he sees his mom in her and that's why he loves her because she replaces his mom. But then I don't think that's what happened. I think the role of the mother is no longer needed after that scene. It's like she's just gone like a phantom, like vanished in thin air, like the mom. Like
Yeah.
there's no trace of her mentioning, or there's no trace of the image or like anything after that. It's like she's kicked out and like just like for
No,
some
I
reason.
I
But
had a different like view than I get what you're saying, but I thought like it would be something like Alma walks in and the Phantom then disappears. But the Phantom didn't disappear even when Alma walked in. She disappeared like later.
oh yeah, she like t gave him some sort of medicine and then she's gone. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of like he's finally seeing Alma for who she is, not my mom, but a mom-like figure, I guess.
But did you think he ever saw her as motherly or his mom? Because I never got that in their relationship. I thought it was more like a director muse like relationship or like dynamic and not like a son versus mom relationship.
Hmm. I
Because
I
I
think
understand where
yeah.
because initially in like one of the earlier scenes and Reynolds and Cyril, they were talking like he's like I see mom, I feel her near, and then well, who do we see next? It's Alma. But I never got that's what he felt during the relationship. I thought it was more like a muse kind of situation where she is my model. She
Yeah.
wears what I that kind of thing.
I don't know. I think like that changed like from Muse to, my free mannequin. That kind of
Yeah.
that changed when Alma showed appreciation of his work and he basically
Hmm.
like tore the dress off of Barbara and then he's like, "Okay, let's go have sex. I love you." Um that to
He
me
didn't say that.
I
He
know
didn't
he
say
didn't
I
say
love.
that. he didn't say I
Yeah,
love you, but like he started to kind of cave in a bit more and treat her differently. At least not like she's, just a mannequin, just his muse. At least he's treating her
right,
with some more emotion on his end.
right,
But
right.
then he's immediately pissed off at her etiquette eating at the table. So it's like I like her flaws and I'm drawn in to by her flaws, but I don't really accept them and they constantly annoy me. That's like,
Like it's more like a fetish thing, right? It's not even like flaws. Like, the
hmm? What? She just disappeared. Where did you go?
here, I'm here. Why was I kicked out?
I didn't kick you out. You just disappeared.
Okay, record again.
No, it's still recording.
Oh, it's recording. Okay, okay,
Record.
okay,
That's so
okay.
funny. What were we saying?
Oh, oh,
Um,
it's
fetish.
shit.
Fetish.
Wait, I think it's more like a fetish thing because, or I don't know, 因为就是, I don't know why the Mandarin is jumping out, but like smaller boobs, that kind of thing. Like it's more like because these things are tailored to his taste and they are not an issue to him. And also he sees her in an ideal way. It's why she is so content in the relationship because in his world she is perfect and she likes how he sees her. And partially that's why she falls in love with him, in my opinion. Because later on I was starting to like wonder like what do they see each other? Because I don't understand. But like, love is confusing in so many ways, but in this movie specifically, what do you think is the appeal of either character to the other person?
Well, I think superficially both like each other's
Are
looks
cute,
because
yeah. Both are cute, yeah.
yeah, it's not our subjective opinion because we see them calling each other pretty. Maybe not Alma so much, but she does fit into
But
his.
Alma did, she in the first dinner sequence, she's like, "You are very cute" or whatever. You're
Yeah, I mean
handsome.
like Alma liked like you're so handsome, you must have a lot of women is what she said to him at the fireplace when they first just met the night. And then but
Yeah.
I don't think Alma got that much confirmation from people surrounding her saying that she was super pretty, at least not until there wasn't direct confirmation until that later dinner scene where, a lot of
Mhm.
people were at dinner and she was semi-flirting with the hardy doctor guy.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm, mhm.
so I think they're
So,
definitely
so
attracted to each
you're
other's
saying
looks.
she got some sort of like affirmations from him and that from him she gained some self-worth. Is that what we're trying to say? Like,
Not self-worth, but like I guess she gained some more confidence because at first she definitely felt super insecure about her own body shape.
mm,
Um, and I think she was internally amazed at how Reynolds liked her body and sort of measured her and said, like this is I've been looking for you for a very long time and she later says, whatever you do, do it carefully. Um
mhm,
I feel like she enjoys this. She enjoys the attention. She enjoys being admired or adored even if superficially at first. And
mhm.
that's the start of it, I think.
No, I agree. I feel like it's definitely that. And also, I was confused after the Barbara scene where that's the first time she's like, I love you. Like, what about that? I feel like it's because she loves his work that she loves him in a way. Like the work and him becomes synonymous or becomes one. And that's what she meant when she's like, I love you because your work is you. You are your work. Your work is you.
Oh, I saw that
You are one and
differently because like later
so,
you
so
see
what
that
are
she's pissed about him like working so much and she feels like work is the third person between
oh
them, right? So I think at
Right.
that scene, I think it was more of a show. You can see glee, like like the actress is amazing. She shows this like kind of glee, like it's almost greedy, like her expression when she realizes that she did the right thing, and she knows like this
Oh,
will
I see
turn
what
him
you're saying.
on. Like
I see what you're saying.
yeah, she knows that like what she's
I don't
doing, what she's
I
initiating
don't
will
think
turn him on.
I don't see it that way though, because I feel like the later, like the issue with the princess is because of the other woman. It isn't because of the work itself. But I do see what you're saying because most times when he was like, absorbed by his work and just working during breakfast and like dinner time and whatever, it is getting in between them.
Hmm.
But I meant more not work as like a process, but work as a result, like what
Oh
he's
yeah,
made.
his dresses, yeah. But
I
I
meant
feel
more like that.
like as a guy or like, he Reynolds is a genius. He's talented at what he does and he's secluded. He doesn't have normal, human interactions. He's like people do. You it is cliche because I see it in a cliche lens and I see it that, he isn't understood by other people as well. And here comes a muse, his muse, personal muse that expresses full out respect and understanding of what he does and what he's devoted his life to and what he's good at.
Hmm.
That would turn me on. Like not gonna lie, that would turn me on. So I
Right.
get like why he immediately likes her, but I feel like she didn't do it because like she does respect his work for sure, but I think a higher percentage of that just based on like the scene and her expression when she was doing this, that she like really enjoyed this process and knew what she was going to get after.
But I felt like she did it because she herself agreed with they have the same mindset in terms of perfection, where someone has to deserve his
Uh-huh.
work in order to be able to wear it. I feel
Yeah.
like because they share the same mindset, she didn't do it to get like a reward from him, but because she believes in it herself. That's why they belong together so well because they have the same twisted mindset. And like
Hmm.
watching that almost made me uncomfortable because they clearly made Barbara out to be like, the jester or like the outlier because other women in this film are so slim and like they have like this modelly.
Yeah.
That's why they deserve this, right? And she didn't behave in a high society way, even when she is high society, and she like didn't wear it to be how he designed the dress. And that's why it's offensive to them because she's not super secure about her body. Like I didn't feel too good about that scene. But these two people are toxic and
Yeah.
they don't have the right views all the time or like most of the time. So yeah, but I didn't feel good about how Barbara was portrayed. The random press scene too. Why did they say anything about Jewish people?
I don't
Just to
know.
give time? Because I know this film set in the 50s, so that's right after like the Second World
The
War.
war,
And
yeah.
yeah,
It just seemed a little out of place. I guess
I
to make
agree.
Barbara seem even more like on edge to make I don't know.
Or even more like not on edge, edgy, right?
Edgy,
She's
yeah.
marrying someone foreign,
Dominican, yeah.
someone ethnic,
No,
and
I want to I
not
want to
of this world.
go back to the point that we were just like not arguing, but discussing like where she didn't do it in his favor. I want to go back to that scene and watch it again because I clearly remember and it gave off weird vibes. Like I remember her
I feel like
smiling when she was
it's
going
more
like
like
this.
they both got off on it, is
Yeah.
what I got.
Okay, okay. Okay,
They
I'm glad
both
we
got
agree on that.
off, you
Yeah,
know?
like if you're doing it because you purely respect his work, then I get that. Then you should look more concerned. She did not look concerned. She was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna, yeah," she looked like that. She didn't look like, "Oh my God, the dress." No, she was like, "I'm gonna get it." And it's like it's different. It's just struck a different chord for me. Um,
You're saying that she acted more like his goon and not as his equal, right?
so yeah, that really made me uncomfortable. I was like, oh, their dynamics are so off. Like she is so submissive right now. Like this, she's just like being. I wouldn't say she's being played. It's good that she respects his work, but it's like the way that this
Playing
part
his
was.
tune, and that's what why she got promoted, right? She's playing
Ye-
his tune, and that's why
Yeah,
she got promoted.
exactly.
What you're
Exactly.
trying to say. Maybe we can both go back to that scene because to me, it's more like they are freaky in the same way. They matched each other's freak, and that's
Also
why.
that. Also that. You're right though. I completely agree with what you're saying too though.
But she did do shit to earn his favor throughout, like the surprise part too. Like she's like, Cyril, like get everyone out of the house so that, I could cook dinner for him. But that's after she felt the relationship is threatened by this
Mhm.
princess person. So she did do shit throughout the film to earn his favor, but none of them worked out except for the poison mushroom and the
Mhm.
Barbara bit. Yeah, those were the only like, I don't know. But I just felt like
Oh yeah, there
who
was
go
yeah,
ahead.
that is a question. There was a part where I did not understand where she was maybe I'm dumb. Like she was at the fireplace where she's doing her narrations and she's like talking to I think she was talking to the Hardy doctor.
Yeah, uh-huh, uh-huh.
Like
I
what?
think what happened was that was during the second time he was fed mushroom, and then, they invited Hardy back into the house because the same house, and then
That would
the
make
first
sense.
scene took during that. And she's like, let me go back to our relationship so you understand why you're here again, or whatever, that kind of thing.
Uh
So I feel like that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I like I thought that too, but in the middle when she kept popping up and like saying it like everything was in the past, I kept thinking that Reynolds died. So the first time she poisoned him, I'm like, is the movie gonna end? And then I just saw
Right,
there was like an hour left. I was like, what?
right. I feel like also the reason why I'm vibing with the romance portrayed in this movie is because I didn't have a straight up super healthy relationship like the one you are currently having. So I understand, like, I truly related to Reynolds when he was being like, go away, I'm working, like during New Year's Eve, right? And then she actually went, maybe out of spite, but also out of her actually want to have a good time. But he was like, okay, the work was a ruse. I was pissed off and that kind of thing. He couldn't work anymore. And then he went out of jealousy, maybe, or like some other sort of toxic feelings or insecurity and stuff, and he went out, and then that got to me because that's how I experience romance. I'm driven by jealousy and possessiveness and all this kind of petty like emotions all the time, and to me that's what romance is. Like that truly got to me because I believe that's how I experience romance, or like in romantic situations or relationships. I'm more driven by these sort of emotions versus other acts of, gratitude or like selflessness.
I
That like
think
so
it's
that scene,
everything,
yeah.
like all that you mentioned, and also the good parts, it's all a part of like love, right?
Bro,
It's like depending on the person and what kind of relationship you are in, it's just gonna,
mm,
the percentages are just gonna differ. But everything there is included. It's a whole package deal. Like none of it is gonna be left out. It's just a matter of percentage. And speaking more towards that, I think it's really interesting where I forget how many scenes. I think at least there were two where Reynolds is peeking at her through the people, the
voyeurism, yeah.
yeah, yeah. There at least two, and it's like it's both when um she's dressed up really prettily. So that's another interesting observation here that I think would be sort of fitting to bring up in this topic that we're discussing right now. It's also a kind of
Hmm.
like possessive and kind of lust in a way, I guess.
Hmm.
Possessiveness and lust.
Hmm. In
Hmm.
a way, like initially, I wouldn't say he loved her earlier, but it's more like a doll, right? Like
Yeah.
you bec- become inseparable, and because of you, it's more complete and looks good, and people are viewing you in a desire, like they watch you in a way that shows interest, and that's why I'm proud of you and my work, that kind of thing. Um, but later on, I that definitely shifted. And also like when she first helped him on one of the gowns, that's where it became inseparable in a way. Like she is doing his work,
Yeah.
and work becomes one in a way. And that's where it first started becoming more equal, even though that's not why he began to love her. But to me, it's significant when the muse grows legs and run, not run away, but grows legs and does shit for him,
Yeah.
even if not invited or welcome. But I think it's significant. Yeah. Yeah. What do
Yes.
you think about the princess? Like inside of her ham, there's not cursed. What
Yeah.
did you think about that? I was confused by it.
No, because in the beginning where he was talking about his mom and his
Yeah.
past, um he's like, what did he I forget the details, but he's mentioning like, a lot of people don't want to touch a bridesmaid's dress, don't want to make a bridesmaid's dress because it's cursed. And I guess like, remember when he said that I always try to include, like, ever since I was a kid and learned how, not a kid, but ever since I learned how to do my work and do this job, I would include like little snippets of words and whatever I wanted, secrets into my clothes and stuff. I think that is what he did. He wanted to, it's kind of his own little.
But why not cursed? Is he secretly a romantic? Like, or like it's one of
No.
the women working it who put it in? I don't know. What do you think it meant? Because I was pretty confused.
No, I just feel like he wanted to. I forgot like the initial part where he mentioned like who touched what was considered bad luck or cursed.
Like
He
when a
does.
woman works on the dress, she might not marry ever because it's bad luck.
Yeah, I think
Like
so.
that's why Black Death, like one of the maids, refused to work on his mom's
Yeah,
dress. Yeah, and Cyril had to work on it. Um,
maybe
yeah.
that's showing
But
like
why?
a compassionate side of him. Um, but I don't really know if after like Alma saw the note, I didn't really see clearly. Like, did she take it out or did she leave it in?
That was up to our imagination. It wasn't
Okay.
shown clearly.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It was deliberately that way. Okay. I thought it was me. I thought I missed something. Um,
I was just confused about the message itself. That was what I was confused by. Um,
I'm pretty sure
because
Reynolds left it because remember in the first scene where he was making a gown for Alma, he
yeah,
sewed for
included
Alma.
Elma.
Yeah.
Yeah. But why not curse? Maybe he secretly wants to get married and he believed it to be a curse all this time, and then
Oh,
him doing it this didn't want it to be a curse for him. I'm pretty
maybe.
confused. I'm pretty
Yeah,
confused.
that's not discussed either.
I thought initially it was going to be something scandalous when I saw it, but guess not.
Oh,
Oh,
Never Cursed
uh,
is a proclamation that he has had a change of heart and that he hopes to
oh,
marry one day, exactly as you said. But that's
yeah.
people's guessing though, like, but
But like he didn't show that at all throughout. He just showed that he wanted to be alone. He wanted to be left alone throughout the film.
yeah. Another theory is, Reynolds refers to all the superstitions that women have about touching a wedding dress before
Yeah.
marrying. Like, he sews the message into the dress after flipping out on Alma. So he might feel regret, and to channel that regret, he made this like note and stuck it into the dress, knowing that Alma would also be working on this dress, and he
Hmm.
didn't want this superstition to actually take course. It's kind of like protecting her.
That's pretty cute if I don't know. I feel like either way it's cute, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just a surprise because he never indicated his wish to
Who
marry.
did? Yeah. Yeah.
He was super grumpy the whole time, like get out of my yard, that kind of energy throughout. And you
Not
were
that
hiding
blunt.
soft, he was just hiding soft messages in these clothes, and that's pretty cute, I think.
Yeah, it shows
You
like a
know,
softer side of him, a more human side of him. I
You
agree.
know, most people on my letterbox, like my friends on there, they're like the best rom-com of all time. Like I didn't laugh really during it, but
I
I
think
guess
what?
yeah,
Maybe
it's so
Letterbox isn't for me. I don't know if what I'm hearing really intrigues me and makes me want to just transition over there. I'm gonna
yeah, like
I'm gonna watch another movie tomorrow. It's called what is it called? It's a new horror, sci-fi, and also comedy movie. The poster is this girl with a pink hairband and rolling her eyes very,
companion,
very white.
companion,
Yeah, yeah,
companion.
yeah,
Right.
yes. I don't know if it's good
Nice.
though.
But doesn't really matter. I feel like
Um,
a lot of it can be good, you know, if you see it a certain way. A
yeah,
lot of films can
because
be good.
like as long as the director or the team put effort, actual effort and thought into it, I feel like
Mhm.
it will be worth watching and you definitely can get something out of it. If it's a
Mhm.
blockbuster, then maybe not. I don't know. But, like these kind of films, if you put effort into it, there's always a message or messages that is worth seeing.
No, I know what you mean for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A weekend getaway with friends at a remote cabin turns into chaos after it's revealed that one of the guests is a robot companion.
Oh
That's,
wow. So like kind of like Among Us or like
yeah,
Others
it
or
sounds kind of Among Us. I
that kind of
agree.
thing. Yeah.
Wait, I still
Here's
want you
one.
to watch Nosferatu.
Okay,
I
I
like it.
will. Do you know the movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers? It's the same idea where there is a person who's not like them and you're afraid that the virus is going to be infectious, so you don't want to be snatched or whatever. Like that's
Oh.
one of the earliest soft thrillers or sci-fis or whatever. It's one of the earlier conspiracy films where it was near the 50s in America and there was a Red Scare, so they were
Mm.
using that as sort of like, the paranoia set in and you don't want people who are secret commies who are waiting to infiltrate your mind. So they were like body snatchers in this film. Um,
Is
you if
this
you want
like
to watch
the
it.
initiation for like the kind of creepypasta idea of doppelgangers, or is it very different?
It's not doubly, it's more like you don't know who's in your house, who's sleeping next to you. You don't know if they've been infiltrated by this other spirit.
Uh-huh.
It's more like
Parasite?
care, yeah, or that
What
kind of
is
thing, or like
that?
replace. It's like some spirit is getting into your body, and your wife is secretly an alien or replaced by
Okay.
one. That kind of.
Wait,
It's more
have
the
you
Little Mermaid. Ursula,
Ursula?
Ursula replaced Ariel,
Did she replace
transform
Ariel? Oh,
or like
but
part of it, right?
but that's like I don't know, Skinwalker. I don't.
Right.
I'm only thinking of creepypastas right now. My mind is infiltrated by creepypastas. What did I want to what was it that I wanted to say? Okay, I completely forgot. Um,
Have you ever? That's what you started your sentence with.
I think it was like, have you ever watched or something like that, but I forgot what I was gonna say.
Sorry about the Ursula.
No, that completely blew my mind away. Um, which mo did you ever watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Like what version did you watch? What
I
year?
did.
There's
It was I watched the first one. The first one made in the 50s.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was for a class called American 1950s. America being a changing society during that period, or like always, you know.
Oh,
But
there's a 1956 one.
we,
There's a
yeah,
1978 one.
I watched the first one, but I heard the second one's pretty good as well. Yeah,
Okay.
but
Oh,
definitely different agenda and different.
I remember now.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, have you ever read the series called Animorphs?
No,
Can you search it real quick? It's
yeah,
like
How do
totally
you
different
spell it?
concept, but it's like anamorph, like MORPH, animal and a anamorph.
More.
It's interesting because there's this comment. I was illiterate until grade six when my aunt gave me an Animorphs book. Oh yeah, the like the first book is called The Invasion, and it's basically just like a bunch of parasite aliens turning humans
And
into hosts.
I mean, that's the concept for Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the
Yeah, it's
same
like
concept.
it's so good, and the kids like they fight back. Like a bunch of kids didn't get infected, and they fight back by touching an animal. Like as long as they can touch an animal for like 5 seconds or something, they can morph into that animal, and that's how they
Got you,
get
got you.
shit. But it was really interesting, and I don't think I completed the series, but it was
Dude,
a good
it's
show.
so interesting.
A good, yeah.
So interesting.
How?
Because
Uh-huh.
I feel like this concept researched because of some other like phenomenon that like transpired in the time that was the inception of this series. Because initially for the invasion of the body snatchers is more the red scare, you know?
Yeah.
Did something else happen during this period that inspired this series
I don't
to
know.
inspire
I read
the
it when I
paranoia?
was a kid. So it was first
Okay.
published in 1996. And then
Okay.
the original run was from 1996 to 2001. The reissue was 2011 to 2012. And I read it somewhere in between like the early 2000s. I mean not early 2000s, late
Hmm.
2000, I think maybe 6, 7-ish when I was like 7 or 8.
Got you, got you.
Yeah.
Because initially I was thinking, oh, look, horror, war, imperialism, dehumanization, sanity, morality, innocence, leadership, and all these topics were the core themes of the th series. I'm reading through the Wikipedia page.
It's a good series. Like I can still remember it up to now. And they cover some pretty dark issues. Like there's this kid that turned into a bird. Like he could turn into a hawk. Tobias. His name
Hmm.
is Tobias. Tobias, I don't know. But he never wanted to change back. He was like, I feel good being a bird. Why would I be a human where all there is torture? I'll just be a bird. And he
Uh,
never went back to his human form. And that was like
that's
devastating
that's
to my
pretty.
puny human brain. I was like, no, be a human. Yeah, it was amazing. I didn't know they had a TV series too. I think it sucks. It isn't that good based on what I'm seeing.
Mm,
Oh, that's so weird. Yeah, it's very different if they want to actually animate or, act out how they transform into an animal. That it doesn't work. It just
mm.
doesn't work, especially during those years. Like it
If
looks just
the
weird.
effects weren't good, the special effects weren't good, then it's not gonna look good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, and I
I
remember
think
them.
definitely the wars that have been going on in the 1990s. I'm not super educated on that, but I feel like it's definitely inspired somewhat by world events during that period to, you know,
Speaking of events
because
and imperialism, this is completely
yeah.
off topic, and I don't know if I want to conclude it. I've recently started a book written by
Hmm.
I don't three authors. One of them is Noam Chomsky, and
Okay.
they're it's basically just a book talking about the history of Palestine.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I'm just like I'm just shocked because this book was written in 2014, I think. And so many of
Hmm.
this shit that's been going on has already been happening, and everyone's just turning a blind eye for so
Yeah.
long. And right now, when things have finally progressed, they try to spin it into a different issue where, like, like Israel is, it's just, I just can't comprehend it. It's so bad.
Me neither. It's yeah. I feel like my issue is like I have so many like strong stances on a lot of things, like definitely on you with you on the Palestine thing, but I need to do more work in getting myself more educated. Like a lot of talking points, a lot of like common sense, I I'm on, but for me to become a better uh advocate for what I'm
Yeah,
believing in, I think I need to do more work myself in reading all these books, in understanding more
yeah,
about
that's what I
history
feel
and
too.
a lot of origins.
No,
Yeah.
because that's what I feel for a lot of issues. Like if you sometimes I don't form a stance until I'm actually educated because it's this world there's too much information and if you just believe on anything that you come across then you're basically fucked. So you have to do your own research for everything.
That's why conspiracy theories were successful for certain people because they don't read beyond that, and that's all they.
No, but some conspiracy theories are fun, like lizard men.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. I'm more trying to say like the sinister ones. Like
Oh, okay.
red
Sorry.
scare is a disease that infiltrates your body, and your
Yeah.
spouse will be transformed into someone else. That kind of
Okay,
thing.
okay, okay, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, or your iPhone
fair point.
has a virus, kind of thing.
Yeah. But they're definitely listening, I swear. Like I
I
play
mean that's not a conspiracy. It's straight up
it's
fact.
a fact. Yeah, it's a fact. Yeah, I was watching this like video about fa Final Fantasy and I've never mentioned Final Fantasy ever before, searched it even. And then later on my phone when I was on one of those like mini game things, they pop up ads all the time and then one of the ads was for Final Fantasy. And I was like, Dude, I just saw this video like 5 minutes ago on speaker. This is so bad." But
It's really
yeah, I'll tell you
I
more
agree.
after I finish the book. I do recommend it to you because like the three authors, I
Yeah,
feel
I
like they're
will I will
very
look it up.
knowledgeable.
It's Chomsky. Yeah, I should definitely be on it as well. Like
It's
so many things. I feel so bad because sometimes when faced with like just far right extremist comments and stuff, I am only like my only capable response is to be, enraged. And I don't have like smart
yeah.
talking points to go back
Yeah.
to them right
To
now.
be very, very honest, you you can't talk it through with extreme right
That's true.
conservative
That's true.
people. It's just not gonna
Because
work.
they are not based as well. Like
They're
neither of
not
us.
based, and they will not go put in any effort to try to make sense of the world around them. What they hear is what they hear. What they think is what they think.
Mhm.
It's amazing. And even like people that, are well educated but have never seen the world from themselves. Let's just be like blunt here. It's just a lot of white people. They've never, traveled outside the town or the city that they were born in. They got educated there for their whole life, got a decent job, but they never traveled abroad. They never even bothered. And whatever they hear, they believe. Like, they just form their stances and they're so passionate about all these human rights things, but they don't know shit about anything.
Yeah.
It's it's
No, agreed.
so it's so like there's too many hypocrites on this world is what I'm saying.
No, agreed. Like
Like
when you were
educate
talking about
yourself.
human rights, like when you were saying human right, like what do you mean? Like whose rights, like that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
like even if like they're saying human right, but it's not who they consider human isn't the entire human race, which is an issue, right? So it's
Yeah.
like
They
you
don't even have
can't
an
really.
argument. They're just like, they're in their own logic loop. And when you try to like
Mhm.
pop their bubble, they get mad at you instead and say, "Well, you're brainwashed." That's what they say.
Yeah. I agree with you. And like me getting educated is more for my sake, I think. It's not to win arguments, more like,
You can't win.
for me to know that
Yeah.
I am based, that's more important, I think.
Yeah, at least
So,
like I try to know the truth. I know like at this point we've lived for so many years on this weird world already. We know at this point that we'll never know like the truth. It's just not gonna
mhm.
happen. We're not there. But it's like at least we tried, right? At least we try to be based. At least we try to listen to how many sides, whatever sides there, how many sides there are. That's I think like that's good enough for my own conscience.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. Just like in the movie, these people have their own truth and little bubble. They're sheltered in and they're sheltered and confined within that castle, and they're happy like that. So they're as long as they're happy and not ruining other people's lives, and that's good. But in a way, I do feel like Cyril is a boss. I truly I feel like she is who
Is
I
the
was
boss.
vibing
I
with the
was
most
scared of her when I saw her emerge, like when she first stepped out
initially.
initially. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she's scary. Wait, I get
I
the
don't know.
comedic side of this. I get why people say this is like a comedy because you
Um,
know her interactions with Reynolds is the funny part for me.
but like I felt so because for some movies, like these women are straight up just unlikable because like the male directors just hate women sometimes. But in this movie, like especially where the scene where like Reynolds fell on like the princess's dress, and then Cyril went around and apologized to all these female workers, and they're like, "I apologize for making you stay up late. You can use my telephone and whatever." And I just
Yeah.
felt so good about that scene, and I was like, "Wow, like the humanity of all this."
Yeah.
Even though some shit were weird in this film, but the humanity I that I observed, I liked. Yeah,
Yes.
in the movie.
I liked Cyril. She grew on me over the film. I can't
Yeah,
believe we circled back from
I was
Palestine.
trying to
Like,
trying
yeah,
to,
I could tell you were trying, like, but it worked. I
but
immediately
like that
got distracted.
isn't that what romance is? No, it's good that we're doing like tangents. I think it's valuable always to go on tangents. But like, isn't that what romance is? Just like you guys in your little world, and some people do want to like be in the world and like whatever, explore whatever. But I'm just thinking because these two people are so like self-centered and so zoned in, like she knows what she wants, and what she wants is to conquer, I wouldn't say, but like remain in this circle with him, I guess. And
They're
I
dancing
don't
a
know.
dance.
Yeah,
A
what does
very
he want? Like
invisible.
that's a mystery, I think. I don't know what he wants. And I don't know
I
why
think
he
he just
fell in love.
wants to have someone take care of him and see that he has this vulnerable side and can bring out that vulnerable side in him. I think that's what he
Okay.
wants, right?
Right.
And
Because he
then
wasn't convinced initially that he's weak. Because when they were having like arguments and stuff, she's like, "Oh, you don't need to be so strong all the time." And he's like, "I'm not weak." But he did become weak because of her drugs or whatever.
yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I can't feel like a little mama's boy after all." And then
And then yeah.
that's why he's in love. I can't see from his point of view sometimes, but
But you're
isn't
right
reason.
when you said at the very beginning of our discussion, like he can give him what he wants to take, like and vice versa, right? They supplement each other. They complement each other, not supplement.
Do you see romance as like a transaction the way they kind of do?
It's an
I
interest.
wouldn't say transaction. I wouldn't say transaction for them because it's more wacky than that. Like,
I feel like romance, if it works, like depending on what kind of romance you're looking for, like if you want a good relationship that lasts and that you can, keep sticking inside of, then I feel like this is important. Like what they're having is important. Like what you need or what you didn't think you need but actually needed is what the other person can give you,
mm,
right? Because people are different and you want to find your match through this way. You don't want to be like good at everything, all the same things, and bad at all the same things. That
mm.
it wouldn't work, right? You have
It's
to.
more like both people are providing, and if your person is providing you with the thing you need, then it's a good match. That kind of thing,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I wouldn't say that's like the fundamentals of a healthy relationship, but it's the fundamentals of a relationship that works long
For
term.
sure, for sure. So transaction is at the basis of all relationships,
Yeah,
is
because
the
it's
dark.
interactions. Like let's be fair. Like interactions, whatever kind, friendships, romance, anything, like even a I don't know, boss employee relationship. We give and we take, right? It's all a
Mm.
transaction.
Doesn't have to be too like capitalistic, like, but it's more like 情绪价值 is also like some of
Yeah,
like
emotional
value. You can't.
support.
What's interesting to me too is for Alma is what she needs is for him to need her. You know,
Yeah.
that's what she needs. It's for
She
him to need her.
wants to take care of someone.
Hmm.
I think she has that kind of need to feel like I need to take care of someone. And that's why she doesn't like being completely submissive. Like in the end she did, I feel like sort of um what's the English word for it? Um I can't remember. Whatever. But she did cave in a little bit. She's like, okay, I'm gonna follow these rules, but I
Yeah,
will fight for my what I truly want through this way. And it works.
yeah. There's the English psychological term for people who makes their relatives or spouse sick so they can take care of them. What's that word? There is a psychological term
What?
like that. Yeah. There's two similar malaise where one is for one to fake illness on their own so they can garner sympathy from other people. That is a true
Oh,
illness. And the other one is to
yeah.
purposely make people sick so you can take care of them.
Faking illness to gain sympathy is Munchausen syndrome. Munchausen
Yeah.
syndrome.
The other one, what's the other one?
Um, this makes me feel like I'm in a true crime podcast where people are talking about neglective moms that,
Right. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good too. Fake psychological term for
Someone who makes
for
their loved ones sick so they can take care of them. So,
Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Is the is
yeah.
the old term for a form of abuse where a person either fakes or produces symptoms and someone else. It's usually their child.
Yeah. I've heard,
Um,
yeah.
Now this is usually called fabricated or induced illness by carers, FIIC, and is different
Oh,
to Munchausen syndrome.
okay. That I didn't know about, but yeah.
Um, People also call it factitious disorder imposed on another. So
Okay.
Munchausen syndrome is also called factitious disorder, I think. Yeah. So it's like
Okay.
they're very closely related.
Okay. Do you think that's her diagnosis for
I
all of
think
us?
it's
I
more
don't
like a product of the context and their relationship. Um,
know.
I don't see her doing it in another relationship, but I don't know what the specific explanations and details of the syndromes are, so I can't say.
Yeah. It just came to me that these illnesses exist,
But these
that
are often comorbidities with NPD, right? Or no?
could be.
I don't know about
Yeah.
factitious disorder imposed not imposed on self. I meant the
On
latter one we
others.
talked about, the by proxy one. But I think like the Munchausen syndrome on in itself is probably MPD,
And agreed.
right?
On
Yeah.
others, it's more like mother to their kid. So in a way, it's like a Oedipus situation,
Yeah, yeah,
like we
yeah, yeah.
discussed. Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, interesting, interesting. Yeah.
This was good. I can't believe we covered so much ground. This was
Yeah.
much better than I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah.
Even when we're trying to donate onto just the two singular characters, it's generating a lot of talking points, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the main focus is
Mhm.
just these two people anyways. But
Yeah,
do you
it's
think
just
like it's justified for her to be jealous of the French princess? I
no, I was confused by this.
I
I
was
was pretty
confused too.
confused.
Like she's like, I live in this house. And Prince was like, okay. And I was like, okay.
I was confused, and he didn't show the princess any kind of inappropriate
Exactly.
emotions.
I think
So
it's just the only thing that triggers her is the fact that he's making her a wedding dress, I guess. Somehow a little bit of suggested later, but I don't. It was weird. It was a weird interaction.
I think I would like. I think it would have been justified had she observed one of the earlier interactions between him and the other person who was getting married, because they sounded pretty intimate, like alluding
Yeah.
to a lot. some sort of under the cover works that they did in making this union the perfect one, her in the dress. So had Alma listened to that conversation, then I would have said it's a justified just jealousy. But jealousy is irrational, I get jealous all the time
Yeah.
about a lot of things. So
Now, love is a petty emotion. It is petty.
I'm glad to hear you say this. Even a
Of
person
course it's petty.
for a healthy relationship
Well,
can
like,
say,
of course it's gonna be petty. If you don't care about this person, then yeah, go, I don't know, be what do you think about casual relationships?
I mean, I personally I can't do it, but I am
Wait,
in support of it.
not casual, like open relationships, sorry.
Open relationships. Personally, I can't do it, but I am in support of other people who pursue it because I am too possessive and jealous. It would never work for me.
Yeah, like I fully support people that are up for it and do it. Like kudos to you, but I don't I did I can't either. Like I can't even imagine it because I had a friend that like
Uh-huh.
he was in a very bad relationship and the guy was like, "Let's keep it open." And she's like, "Okay." But then when the guy actually went and, like went out with other girls and he was open and honest about it, of course, but she would be mad and she would say, "Well, I'm not justified to being mad, but I am mad." And she would, seek out new lovers too out of more spite than anything and wouldn't tell the guy. And that kind of like, breaks the whole point of being in an open relationship, I think,
Okay.
depending on
Okay.
like
So
what their terms are.
where are they now?
They've broken up a long time ago.
Oh, okay, okay. I was like,
Yeah.
how did that work for anyone?
Because like it was
Because
clear that the guy didn't really like her and she really liked the
it's more
guy.
like it's more like imbalanced, if
Yeah,
both people
exactly.
if these parties are not on the same page and then it wouldn't work. I feel like an open relationship will only work if both parties care deeply about the other person and have deep trust for the other person and both are wanting to pursue an open relationship. If it's purely this one person who wants to fuck around and
Yeah.
without breaking commitment, then it's not going to
I
work.
respect anyone that is in a re open relationship and makes it work. I feel like that's incredible. Like the
I
amount
do
of
know
trust
I
and
do
uh-huh. You do
mhm.
know?
I do know of couples who did it and succeeded, but they've broken up. But I don't think it's because of the open relationship aspect. It's more because of other conflict. Yeah.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
Have you watched what's it called again? I can't remember that show where there's Liu Yuling and woman that
Why women kill?
Why Woman
Why
Kill. Yeah,
women?
yeah, yeah.
I have not, but I know what happened in the first season.
It's the
Well,
first season
yeah.
is so good. The first season is so good. And there is an open relationship in was it an open relationship? I think it was.
It's more like the guy's cheating or treating her badly or something, right? That kind of thing.
Wait, I think it was an open
Or
relationship. No, it was an open relationship.
like the girl's reluctant, right? Like that kind of thing.
No, because it was an open relationship, but they made, wait, no, it was a three-way.
Okay.
I
So it's
don't remember.
polyamorous.
Okay, I don't remember, but I thought it was, wait,
If it's
I need to know.
it's
I need to know
polyamorous.
right now.
Okay, okay, go ahead. You
Um,
think a poly situation will work for you? Like a polyamorous relationship?
like me with multiple men?
No, all of you guys are in the relationship together. A
Oh,
poly
a
situation
poly. A poly, sorry. Um, no.
is like why not? Is it because of jealousy again? Let's just be
No,
honest. Is
like
it
there's
because
just
of
gonna be balance problems, you know? Like even if you're in a with friends, like if you have two friends and the three of you hang out, there's gonna be weird balance dynamics for sure.
but for me, that kind of situations don't work because I get petty or because I get jealous, So
Yeah,
for
like
me,
It would
It
work if
is
everything was fair, but you get petty because something is off. That's why you feel it's unfair, and that's why you get petty,
got
right?
you. But ultimately, I think these things don't work for me because of myself, because
No,
of
they
my.
are in an open relationship. They are.
Okay, I
They had a
not seen the
rule of
series.
never bring like the third person into their home, but he broke
Oh, okay.
that rule and then they turned poly. Yeah, kind of
They
poly.
turned pop. So they got into one relationship, or no, or it's more like one person has two boyfriends or that kind of thing.
No, I think they slept together and everything. It was
Oh,
poly.
okay,
I remember watching
okay.
this when I didn't have a concept of open relationships and also poly, and I was stunned. I was like, my worldview shook so hard, it's still shaking.
Have you seen Sense8? Sense8, the
Sensei, no.
series?
Oh, I wanted to watch it, but I keep not watching it.
Okay, like that series ended with a bang. Let's just say, like, let's just put it like that.
Ended with a
It
what?
bang. It's a
Why?
it's a double entendre situation. It's
A
more
literal thing or
both literally and metaphorically. Yeah.
okay. Okay. Okay.
I'll just put like they it ended with an orgy. It's yeah, so a literal bang. But yeah, yeah,
All eight of them?
more more than eight.
But isn't it sense eight? How many cents? What?
No, like the series, the premise is eight people are sharing senses, right? But they have partners themselves. Each person has partners
So they all
themselves,
had
or
sex
like
at the same time?
yeah, and yeah. Even during the series, it happened multiple times. When one person has sex, all people feel it, and sometimes they illustrate it using an orgy in the series. Yeah.
I need to watch this.
It's pretty good. It discusses like things like sexuality and relationships and power, a lot of that. So it's pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay.
And it had a poly relationship, I guess, or like multiple.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. I should watch it. I always heard it was really good. I
Yeah.
should watch
It
it.
was canceled by Netflix at one point, but they brought it back for like a final thing and they ended with a bang. So
That's so
we're
funny.
confused by that.
That is funny. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what were we
But
talking about before this? Open
who
relation. How
did
do we get to open relationships?
you were asking, can you do it? And I was like, no. Can you? And you're like, no.
No,
That's not
yeah.
what
No. What other kinds of relationships are out there? Out of curiosity.
chronic, poly, cheating. What else? I wouldn't know.
Okay.
Dating.
That was that wasn't what I was thinking of, but that makes sense. That is definitely one. Platonic, yeah, platonic. I don't know. Well, like I was, my friend recommended me a podcast about Mormonism and leaving Mormonism.
Oh, geez. Okay.
And it was really I'm not Mormon by the way. I'm just saying like it's interesting because it's like, like how religion and cult draw their lines and what happens to the people psychologically. But
There is like a twisted series called My Husband Is Not Gay. It centers multiple women and their husbands who have gay tendencies, but because they're all Mormons, they can't pursue it because they will be excommunicated by the religion or the church, so they get into marriages
this
with
like
women.
there's not that many viewers on this like for this show. Like on IMDb, it's 51 critic views with 4.1 out of 10. How did you even watch?
Oh, I
When?
didn't watch the series. I saw people clowning on the series. I didn't watch
Oh,
it itself.
okay.
Like that, for these things, it's more me watching criticisms of
Oh, okay,
it.
okay, okay. I got scared.
Instead
I was
of
like,
watching.
why would you watch this?
I mean, we can make it our own YouTube channel, just shitting on these shows, that might get us some views. It
That's
might get
true.
views. Yeah. Did you know about the sound bite? Denial is a river. Your husband is gay. Did you know about that?
So what?
Denial is a river in Egypt. Your husband is
But yeah,
gay.
like I was gonna say about polygamy. I think it's polygamy, right? Like I don't
Yeah, polygamy.
yeah, I don't they definitely still practice it. Like they don't say they practice it, but I feel like they definitely practice it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Uh,
Did
okay.
you there's a documentary on this called Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey. It's also by Netflix. That one's pretty good.
Hmm. I've
I
heard about
like that one.
I've heard about documentaries on, yeah, on polygamy for sure. Like different because of religion too. Yeah.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
lot of cults end up with, you know, I banged how many people? This means I'm more
Yeah.
spiritual.
Yeah. 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 And our family is X, Y, and Z because of
You know what? We should
words
do a
from
cult movie and talk about cults. And
for sure. Yeah.
I'm just like not maybe for that episode I can invite a guest speaker. I know another friend of a friend that is super into cults and super knowledgeable. But
Okay. Yeah, we should. We should.
it would
For
be
sure.
interesting
Because
to ask her questions and her views and takes if we can.
maybe it'll be good. Yeah. Yeah. Hope everyone and their partners, or otherwise, if you're single, have a good Valentine's Day.
Have a
Like,
good Valentine's Day. Love yourself always.
yeah,
That
love
comes
your
first. Uh,
yeah. If you are in a relationship that doesn't work, regardless of what, just run away is my
Run away.
is
Love
my
yourself and run away. That's why it's always important to love yourself first.
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Have a good Valentine's, everyone. Peace.
Until next time.